Howdy all, welcome to another video. As you can tell from the video title, I started questioning whether or not I made a mistake advising older gamers to start with a Mentat class. And please watch the whole video, but the TLDR is, yeah, I think I did. It started with one of the comments on the previous tips video, and thanks everyone for the wonderful comments, suggestions, and criticisms on that video, where the commenter said that since the Mentat Beginner Trainer quest is only slightly more difficult than the Trooper or Planetologist quests, they would suggest starting with one of the two most difficult beginner training classes, the Swordmaster or the Bene Gesserit. I knew the Mentat starter trainer was not hard to get to, being in Riftwatch at the southern start of the Haga Rift, but I didn't know how challenging the quests were. A quick search told me not very. After I read that comment, I took my Mentat character into Imperial Testing Station number 10 to do the contract hostile takeover, which ends with having to kill someone named Inna Hiller. It's a tough quest, and my Mentat struggled greatly. I burned through heal kits like candy, and the Sentinel was almost useless against any shielded enemy. I made it to the large warehouse room, packed with somewhere between 9 and 12 enemies, where I finally died and gave up, leaving all that gathered Solari behind. I then saw a video in which someone claimed to, in just 2 hours of gameplay, go from start to having 4 classes unlocked. So I thought, let's see how long it would take me to, after starting as a Swordmaster, get the Trooper, Planetologist, and finally Mentat skills unlocked. Spoiler, it took me just under 4.5 hours. I only died once, and that to a lucky pair of Blade Fighter and Gunner in a scavenger camp near the first trial of Akal. They just got the good RNG, I guess. So here is a short summary of what I did, which I now suggest as a starter strategy for us older gamers. Once I started in the actual game and chose Swordmaster as my starting class, I did the main story journeys up to making a base. I then ran north to Griffin's Reach to build my first base up there, stopping to loot any scavenger camp on the way, but avoiding any of the bigger scavenger outposts. I built my base, on a cool spot with terrible access, to keep advancing the MSJ, and can I use that? Like MSQ is main story quest, MSJ for main story journey? I'm going to use it. Until I could pick up the Trooper starter quest and the first contracts. To be fair, a chunk of that 4.5 hours was gathering materials to make a base probably bigger than I needed it to be, but hey, build for expansion. Getting the parts for better weapons in the wreck of the Alcyon also allowed me to get the first piece of Aaron's armor, the boots. That unlocked contracts in the Imperial Testing Station number 2, and I grabbed the Planetologist starter quest on the way. All of that completed, I now had opened the Trooper and Planetologist skill trees and learned how to make a sandbike, which I would need to get to the Mentat trainer. I had to do the first trial of Akal to advance the MSJ, and so I did that, and on the way I had that first death. With my new-to-me GPU, that first trial was a piece of cake. From that eastern side of Haga Basin South, I drove my sandbike almost straight north from outcrop to outcrop, and made it easily to Haga Rift and to the Riftwatch. I had seen in a video what you needed for the first half of the Mentat starter quest, so I grabbed more than 100 plant fibers and more than 40 iron ore. That's it. That's all you need for part 1 of the Mentat starter quest. Part 2 sends you to the Thieves' Market in Sukalusus under the Hammer Mirzaba to the west of the Anvil trade post in eastern Vermilius Gap. Before heading to do that, I followed my own advice from my previous video, and having accumulated almost 25,000 Solari, I took an Ornithopter ride to Arakeen to buy better gear off the exchange. I deposited 18,000 and only spent 8,500. For that, I got an Adept Rapier, and Adept is 3 tiers higher than what this character at level 22 can craft right now. I got an Artisan Spit Dart Sniper Rifle, which is 1 tier above the standard gear that this character can craft right now. I got the Way of the Wanderer Mala pistol, and way above what this character can craft right now, the Inkvine light armor pants. With all of that, taking out the bandits in the left side of the Succalusus was a piece of cake. Trying to avoid drum sand getting back to Riftwatch was harder. So, 4.5 hours later, my character is only level 22 and has opened up 3 class skill trees in addition to Swordmaster. It was pretty easy and would have taken even less time if I didn't go overboard on base building and planned my travel routes a bit better. This is my new strategy for older gamers starting Dune Awakening or starting a new character. I now have access to all of the range damage bonuses of the Trooper and the Mentat, and the close quarters skills of the Swordmaster. If you plan to follow this path with a character yourself, one final tip: use that knee strike early and often. Thank you for joining me for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. It's all engagement. If you have any comments or questions about this video or any other video we do here at Nerd Caliber, please do leave them in the comments section below. In the meantime, stay safe, be well, and bye-bye.